Well, today's turnout, I think you'll agree, has been absolutely fantastic. There's many people here that are interested in the print itself, the original, and the subject matter. In fact, the many subject matters that it taps into: religion, education, football, Celtic, the whole charitable side that is Brother Walford's legacy and what we explore today. And I think people are more interested to find out what charitable side that we're offering today. And we're very proud to stand here and show the product that we've given out to its highest quality, but give something back to charity also. Give something back to St Mary's as Brother Walford intended to do.
I think the real value in being here is that there's something about the spirit of Brother Walford is still in the room as well. You know, obviously the painting it reflects our memory or image of Brother Walford, but really it's nice to think that his ethos, his morals, his values have some pertinence today for many of these people here.
The product is magnificent. I mean, Peter's done a wonderful job, as always he does. He's captured everything. He seems to have captured, you know, the feelings of Brother Walford and everything that goes about it. It was a lot more than just setting up Celtic Football Club. You know, there was a lot more to it. I didn't know that, you know, that as much of the history of Brother Walford than what I should do possibly. But you just hear of him setting up Celtic, and you know, but it's a big part of life in the Carlton, which is you know, so he was obviously a remarkable man, because we find things hard to do in these kind of days. But you can imagine back in the day it would have been absolutely horrendous to get anything done. So he must have been a stubborn man, and fair play to him, you know, he came through it, and well, we all know what happened with Glasgow Celtic. They're up one of the biggest clubs in the world now, so and then this Peters is, you know, he's absolutely captured this, everything that you could imagine. You know, Peter Howson and Brother Walford just go hand in hand, really, don't they?
My role in the launch of the Brother Walford limited edition box set is I'm the creative director behind the entire process. So I've colour matched the original photograph of the Brother Walford painting, printed it out so that Peter Howson could actually authorise which one he was happy with in terms of kind of colour correction, and from there created the crimper seal for the print, the box for the box set, the artwork for the DVD case and the DVD, and all the other kind of marketing and promotional items that have gone around today's event.
I want one of these. Looking at the picture itself, it's stunning, and it's something to look at, you know, it's amazing. So I think I would like that now in my house. It's got everything in there, hasn't it, as well? Just, you know, sadness and just the eyes will do it for me, you know. Yeah, I want to walk past that when I'm going to, you know, the kitchen or whatever. Yeah, I love it.
I was in from the concept right through to the finish. Various test proofs to Peter to sign off, getting lighting right, all that kind of thing. And then we went, produced the prints, got them signed, and it just all sort of, that part of it fell into place. There's various ups and downs, but overall, I think the product in itself is pretty remarkable.
What Peter Howson's done, he's quite amazingly taken a man like Brother Walford and in showing the true compassion and generosity and the amazing big heart and fabulous intellect that this man had at the time of poor education, poor quality, and yet he came to rise in it. Peter Howson's managed to embrace all that, and yet the horror and all the tragedies that took place at the time. And there's something about the portrait in the limited edition that kind of forces you to step into that, to try and understand. And I hope I'll be having one, and I'll look at it every day to remind us, because in the west of Scotland and in other parts of Scotland, what that man started showed clearly that given a level playing field, and I'm sorry to use that analogy, but given a level playing field, Irish Catholics coming with no education, with little hope, with amazing despair, given that level playing field, we're just as good as anyone else in this hemisphere.
Peter Howson's painting of Walford is particularly notable in that the subject is not widely known outside of the world of Celtic Football Club. But the man who would go on to form a future football superpower was motivated entirely by his charitable endeavours, and specifically in feeding the hungry.
I deliberately didn't watch the kind of rough cuts and the edits because I've been so involved in the process. I want to go in as a viewer would, as you see it, without having seen anything any of the other kind of footage. So I saw it this morning for the first time and it's fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not Mr. Emotional, but there were certain bits. I think it's like Peter Mullen's voice really brings home the kind of despair of the kind of Irish immigrants and the famine. So it's an emotional piece. I think we hear Peter Howson talking about it as well. It brings it kind of back home, especially I think in a cinema setting as we've seen it here today. It really focuses you on the screen. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a brilliant piece of work, and I'm very proud to have been part of it.
I thought it was very, very well put together, and the history was fantastic. Lots of things that we didn't really know about, as in what Brother Walfrid in his past. And when most of us just took for granted how it started, we didn't really know the man.
I'm very proud, actually, almost as proud as my father-in-law is a huge Celtic fan. He's delighted. I'm proud of the music. I think it reflects definitely what's going on. And even my grandfather was one of Peter's tutors at the art school. My grandfather, old David Donaldson, was the head of portrait painting. I think he was one of his main tutors growing up. So I was kind of hoping to even make up a CD and send it on to Peter at the end. It's this kind of like huge circle of creativity. But no, the music, I've tried to keep it kind of spiritual without being overly religious in a sense. I hope that comes through.
It's a wonderful documentary. It encapsulates a lifetime of a man who, as a wee boy growing up in Bellsill in the Little Eye, Red at the time has always been my Celtic hero. And the more and more I became involved with the club, Brother Walfrid was always the key figure, without whom Celtic would never exist. It's a marvellous documentary.
The Celtic Football Club is a football giant. It's a superpower, but take it back to its foundations and its roots, explore its founder, and it uncovers so many other fantastic topics. And I'm just overwhelmed to be part of it, explore it, and it's something that I'll remember for a long time.